Welcome, everyone. Welcome back to the Spale Bilbers Guild. What day is it? Tuesday? I think it's Tuesday. Welcome. It's Lightroom Live, where we're going to edit some photos, perhaps. I hope everyone's well. Check in where you are coming from, watching from, viewing from, and we'll get into it. How's everybody's week going? It's been pretty busy for me already, I have to say. Busier than I thought it was going to be. That is for sure. Looking a little tinted here today, but I think it's just the lighting. This room's not well lit, so I kind of have to really like smash up the. No, there we go. That's better. That's much better. I know what it was. Anyway, uh, presumably you can all hear me just fine, and we can get started on editing some photos. Sad face, wife and kids are home. Back to 1/10 scale. I know. I'd be disappointed about that too, Dale. All right. Let's get right into it. This was the cover or thumbnail photo, and this is a great one, man. I gotta say, it's pretty nice. This is from Jorn Johannesson, sorry. And what a great looking photo. This is a Land Cruiser 80 series. He's cut the fenders off, and looks like he's done a bit of work to the actual paint. It's almost like he's put a patina on there. It's a little digital. You can tell just by looking at it. There's some artifacting going on. It's probably camera phone, but still pretty nice looking photo. So let's. I wonder if this was an inspired build based on the jelly bean. I mean, anything's possible, I guess. Um, anyway, nice looking truck, and we're gonna see if we can't make this look any better. I like how scale everything looks. You know, like this branch here feels pretty realistic. These rocks feel pretty realistic. The trail that he's about to go explore looks very accurate in terms of the scale of the truck. So that's a good looking photo. Great place to start. Let's pop over to the develop tab here and start taking a look at some stuff. I'm going to keep it cool, I think, for this one. I'm also, here's a challenge for tonight. I think what we should do is we should try to avoid doing any cropping. This is going to be a crop free evening. Yeah, lots of good stuff going on in this photo. So let's get to it. Exposure. I think I'm just going to lift it ever so slightly. Um, like I said, white balance. I brought temperature wise a little into the cooler side of things. I'm going to amp up our texture, which is accentuating this rusty kind of paint stuff that's going on here. And oh, good. I'm glad that the sound is coming through loud and clear, Master. I'm actually using a new version of NVIDIA Broadcast, which replaces RTX voice. So this was revamped as soon as the 3080 series video cards came out, which are exorbitantly expensive. Actually, they're not that much more expensive than what I have now. It's just this is a brand new card for me, so I'm not upgrading anytime soon, not unless CVGA decides they want to send me one for testing purposes. But it would be like giving, let me see, it would be like giving a first time driver a Ferrari and going, how does this feel? How's this car? Like, I don't know. Anyway, yeah, NVIDIA Broadcast, so far so good. We'll see around the half hour mark what happens. Um, yeah, that's where the RTX one seemed to kind of blow it. Anyway, back to this photo. Give it a little more texture, a slight bit of clarity, not too much. I don't want to over sharpen this one. I am going to up our vibrance, which usually affects the luminosity of the colors, and it seems to be doing a decent job here so far. There's lots of great colors going on in this frame. Lots of oranges and browns and greens and blues. And then some nice looking work on the scale accessories there too. Tread pattern definitely is all over the place, but um, yeah. Hey, we've all had problems with tread patterns before, but good rant there, Dale. Saturation, I'm feeling pretty good about that. I did +4, but not very much. Um, Saturation. I am going to bring down our red saturation a little bit. It was feeling a little hot. Here, I'll focus in on here. You can see what that does. That's where we were. And that's me dialing it back a little bit. Just enough. Oh, real man inside. I wonder where those stickers came from. I like the duct tape over the lens too. That's pretty good. Let's do a radial filter here. I'm going to center that kind of around the truck itself. Bring back the saturation that it lost. Um, Keep that exposure lifted a little bit. Also going to lift our shadows ever so slightly in that. But I am going to crush our blacks back down. There we go. That feels pretty good. Ha, Robbie, that is hilarious. No, I didn't pre I did not pre-crop any of these photos. These are as is. No previous cropping done. And I won't do my very best not to crop a single photo. And I hope Video shows up because he's usually the one who gives me the hardest time about all my cropping. All right, that's good there. Let's bring a nice big dramatic shift in this sky here. Actually, maybe we do paintbrush instead. Let's see how this works first. I'm just going into our temperature here and bluing it up a little bit. Hey, Mark, no, you haven't missed much. We're still on the first photo here. I've been goofing off and talking more than anything as usual. I think we're going to slightly adjust the hue. Ah, Reggie watching on the big screen. Nice. Thanks, buddy. And I think that's feeling pretty good right there. I like that. Now we're going to go in with our paintbrush tool. And I can use the mouse scroll wheel to make that brush head larger or smaller. And I'm just going to paint in a little bit of exposure lift in these background trees. And it's brought all those things up there. Yeah, I kind of like what that's doing, so we're going to leave that. What I did want to do was just lift our shadows a little bit more so you get a bit more texture there. I am going to throw, well, actually, I'm not going to throw a vignette on. I'm going to darken down these front areas here. Keep our saturation the same, but lower our expo. Ooh, it's affecting both. I didn't want that. Okay, we'll call that one done and then start a new one. There we go. Smart. And I'm going to bring that up over on this side here. And this is sort of like you could just use the vignette tool, but this is just affecting the areas that I'm painting. So it's a little more refined. Hi, Ryan. How are you? Thanks for checking in, buddy. And I'm just lowering our exposure in those areas there to give it sort of a vignette-y kind of effect. I'm also going to increase our shadow a little bit, and that's pretty good right where that is. Let's go down to our HSLs again, and we're going to play with the luminance on our oranges and our browns, and our yellows a little bit too. And then we'll go back to saturation and increase our orange a little bit. And yeah, that's feeling pretty good. Let's see what that looked like before. Let's go full screen for a moment here. Wow, what a nice full screen that is. I am pretty stoked at the quality of the photos that are coming in these days, guys. You guys are killing it. And I cannot thank you enough for continuing to submit. I should mention, if you want to submit photos, you're a new viewer, maybe you haven't seen this show before. I take your photos of RC trucks and I do some color correction and I send them back to you. Anybody who's gotten them done last week gets them sent back this week, and everybody should have gotten them. But anyway, if you want to submit, submissions at scalebuildersguild.com, and that's where these all came from. And there's also a link in the description, so you can quite easily find that. Okay, so before, after, before, after. It's just about lifting our contrast a little bit, adding some saturation overall, and playing with the texture and depth of some of these things in order to sort of amplify the look of the truck. And I think that looks pretty good. Thank you very much for your submission, Yorn. It's very much appreciated. Oh, Moose Jaw, there's turkeys outside? Oh, dude, you got to get some pictures for me. Honestly, I want to see them flying. Because if they're not flying, I don't believe any of you. Yeah, Master, that's a very good point. It's all about location, and that's the thing that I think makes this stream so much fun to watch, is that there's so many different places that you can take a tiny truck. Water features, rock features, forest features, all kinds of different things. And there's so many great examples in here. I'm just so happy. It makes me really happy. Let's do another one while we're thinking about it. Maybe something a little bit different. How about this one from Joshua Gregg of this very nicely bobbed, what looks to be a very compy Toyota Hilux. Bobbed, dovetailed, pinched nose. Still has an interior though, so kudos. Definitely got some nice, I think these are probably method wheels, and maybe those are locked up RC beadlock rings. Kyosho velvets, which are very nice shocks. And what kind of, that's a Beef Tubes diff cover, but what axle is that? I don't know. Axial? That might be an axial. But very nice. Looks good. I'm going to get to that in a second. I'm going to look at some comments first here. Is that back tire on backwards on purpose? I don't know if it was on purpose or not, SFL, but it was definitely on backwards. That's for sure. Yeah, be sure to hit the like button. That would be helpful. Let's see here. Make sure, yeah, Dale, make sure you get a video of one of those turkeys flying. Because I've never seen one do it, ever. Legit question. I know you send pictures back, but how can we get our hands on someone else's photo? Well, it's not really for me to give other people's photos out to other people. I kind of rely on them to post them on Instagram and tag the Scale Builders Guild. But yeah, I mean, if you want to try to work something out with somebody in the chat, by all means, you go ahead and do that. But yeah, I can't, in good conscience, I can't give out other people's photos. I think that would be kind of beyond what I should do. I always forget to hit the new brush. Yes. Master, it happens all the time. All the time. How to get a city feature? You'd probably have to go to the city. That would be my guess anyway. Oh, just saw what's on the bench last night. Impossible. What's on the bench went up this morning, so you must be overseas. But yes, thanks for watching, CJ. Yeah. All right. Let's get to correcting this photo. I've caught myself up. No Josh, no video yet. So definitely not cropping, because that's not something I ever do. That's like cheating or something. I'm going to make this more of a sunset sky, and you can see just by adjusting my hue slider, I can make this feel a lot more purple, which I think looks pretty good. We're also going to lower the overall exposure, increase our contrast, and maybe even pop some texture in there and a little bit of clarity. No, I'm going to leave the clarity out. Yep, that's perfect. Now on to the rest of this scene. Oh, proper scale and proportion. I can help you with that, Joe. What a lot of guys do is this thing called forced perspective. And what that means essentially is building a platform that the truck or subject sits on, and then elevating that platform so it's at the same horizon level as the scene that's behind you. There's an excellent static model guy who was like, he broke the internet with all of his cool photos of static models in front of like real houses and stuff. And I can't remember his name and I can't remember where to find it. So somebody else who has access to the internet right now should go find that guy and put a link in the live chat so everyone else can see it and how it's done. It's really super easy. You kind of have to do a bit of work on like a diorama for your platform so everything fits nicely into the scene that you're trying to use. The best thing to do is make like a fake pavement or asphalt or concrete or something, or even just dusty road. So that way you can just kind of easily integrate that into a scene. But that is how they do it. All right, I'm adding a little bit of saturation to that truck and also for the whole scene. I'm just going to give it a touch darker, and I'm also going to cool it off a little bit so we really get that sky to pop. Texture, obviously, what comes after that? Clarity. Highlights, I'm going to bring those down a little bit too. And shadows, I'm also going to bring those down a little bit as well. Let's go down to our HSLs, and I'm going to increase the saturation on our yellows and our greens. And I'm going to not crop this photo. I think we'll put a medium vignette on it though. Yeah, Dale, that's exactly it. I can't remember what the guy's name is though. Darn it all. I'm going to go into the brush here and I'm going to try something. I want to give these shocks a bit more overall saturation just on their own because I really like the gold that's popping out of there. And there we go. I may even amp up the texture on that too, see if that does any good. Yeah, a little bit. But that looks rad. I mean, it's definitely a comp truck, no doubt about it. Also going to do a little bit of work on these tires. It's always nice when you can find this sort of the right angle for your oval. We're definitely going to give that more texture and definitely clarity. Pull our shadows down a little bit. There we go. I don't feel like this one's going to be a major departure from where it was. It's a pretty good looking truck and a pretty great photo too. This one's from Joshua Gregg, if I didn't mention that already, but I think I did right at the beginning. Wow, I can't believe that's where the saturation was. I like it when it says yo or toyoyo or tttt. I've done all of those things. All right. I think that's looking pretty good. Let's look at it full screen for a moment. Another great Just awesome looking background. Great. I like these vistas. Vistas are nice. Before, after. I think we've suitably improved that photo. I like it. That looks really good. Yeah, that's it, Joe. Plywood, make it look like a street, line it up. Have your Sanford and Son truck in the hood. Yeah, sure. The neighborhood. It's a great idea. So there we go. That's a nice looking photo. Thank you very much, Joshua, for sending that one along. Nice looking comp truck. Thank you for putting an interior in said comp truck and not completely eliminating that for the sake of performance. You're a man after my own heart. All right, let's do a blue truck. Which blue truck should we do? Let's do this Blazer from Craig Thompson. Who's looking forward to tomorrow night's live stream? That's what I want to know. All right. I feel like this one's going to be a good one. Looks like we got enough resolution to work with here. I am not going to crop it, despite how badly I might want to. I'm not going to do it. I'm also okay. So one of the things I'm going to do here is I'm going to lower our highlights, and one of the things that you'll see is that in like these blown out reflections of like the windshield and this line right along here, if you pull that down, you really get a little more texture in there. And I mean, it all depends on how much information is in the photo. Raw photos handle this a lot better. That'll do just fine. Shadows, I'm also going to crush those down a little bit. Right away, go into our red saturation and basically eliminate it so that diff cover isn't like right in our face. Blues, I feel like we can increase the saturation, but let's change the hue. Whoa, it's teal now. Or purple. Oh, Josh, that's right. I forgot. Tomorrow on the live stream, Josh is going to be correcting photos in Lightroom, and I'm going to be making things in Fusion 360. I feel like I might have a slight advantage because I've done some stuff. I've done a little bit of stuff in 360, and I'm certainly no slouch in Lightroom. Whereas Josh is very good at Fusion and horrible at Lightroom. So that'll be fun. I'm looking forward to that. I'm just changing the hue a little bit. I think we'll go into this sort of range here. And then I'm just going to change the hue on the aqua as well, which is because this part up in here is a bit crazy hot. You can see that the JPEG resolution isn't holding up all that well, but this is just going to help dial that back a little bit. That's much better. Greens, feel like we can warm those up a little bit too. But we are going to crush them on the luminance so they still maintain sort of a background look. Texture and clarity really brings those rocks to life, wouldn't you say? That's looking pretty good. Let's throw a light vignette on there as well. Kind of feels like an overcast day, huh? Black and white or two-tone. Actually, somebody submitted a photo that is already kind of black and white, so we can kind of amp that up a little bit. Yes, thank you, Ryan. Wednesday night live stream takeover is the best part of my Wednesday, too. All right, let's take a look at this one here and see how we've done. Before, after. See, all you're really doing is you're just kind of modifying and amplifying and taking things, just kind of making them look a little bit better, a little bit crisper, a little bit sharper. a little more saturated or a little less saturated. Yes, good call. I will get that little touch of sky out of the top corner there, Master. Let's see if I can still do this well. Hope this, it doesn't really want to, let's increase the size. There we go. Huzzah! Healing, eh? Not spot removal? Where's the healing brush? I don't think I have that. I don't know how to do that. Yeah, I don't even see healing in here. Maybe that's what you meant. It worked anyway. Oh, there he is. Well, 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 Vidjo. I've got bad news for you, sir. I'm not cropping any photos tonight. Not one. Haven't done one yet. Won't do one. How do you like them apples? All right, thanks, Craig, for your submission. Let's move on to another one here. Somebody said something about a Unimog. I don't remember seeing one in here. No, let's do Todd Ostman's V-Dub. This thing is sweet. I can't remember what chassis it's on, but the build is on the Scale Builders Guild. And I also love apples. I love them in apple form. I love them in cider form. I just like apples. Anyway, this is a Lexan body painted on the outside. Todd is Tossed Man, which is a play on his word, Todd Ostman. Tossed Man. Huh? Yep. Nice looking 3D printed motor. This might be from Knight Customs. I think he does this for the SRBs. But yeah, very cool. Skateboard on top. Must be going skateboarding in the woods. Let's see what we can do with this one. I think we'll definitely warm it up. See if we get a little more exposure in there. Keep our contrast sort of muted. Pull down our highlights so we get some of that texture back. Shadows, I'm going to keep those kind of where they are. Bring the whites down a little bit. Keep our blacks where they are. I feel like because there isn't a lot of color in this photo, you could almost go black and white, but that would be sort of wasted. No crops. Is this legit? Is this Lightroom or does Matt do stand-up comedy? Oh, wow. Yes. This is this is the stand-up comedy routine. Just pulling down our luminance on our reds so they pop a little bit more. And did I do texture and clarity? See, now that's going to be the challenge. Can we do Lightroom Live without texture and clarity sliders? The answer is no. All right. Let's throw a heavy vignette on that one too. Just for fun, let's see what black and white would look like. Man, I don't mind that as sort of like an artistic kind of look. Yeah. I mean, there is no inner fender in there, so I guess I could try to paint in there, but I don't know if I'll be able to get all of that out. Yeah, I think it's just gonna look kind of strange. I mean, that's better, I guess. All right, I'll let that go. Oops. Tell Josh he can't crop either. Oh man, can you imagine? He wouldn't know how to crop anyway, so I'm not too worried about that if I'm honest. Um, yeah, man. I kind of want to do black and white, but I'm not going to. Let's throw some grain on this, man. It's like it's 1970, man, and I'm going to skateboard at my cabin in the woods. I like the grain. I think we're gonna keep the color, and maybe if we even go like vintage instant, yeah, that's kind of cool. Yeah, I'm gonna go with that. There, change my mind, and we'll throw a heavy vignette on there too. I think that's looking pretty cool. Full screen, anyone? And a little before and after. It's just this one's more about a visual effect, and now I can see that darn it all, this thing looks so bizarre now. So let's fix this. The grain structure is really messing with it. That's what I get, I guess. There. That'll do. Good enough for jazz. Or close enough. Have you okay, now here's an expression that we'll have to share with Josh tomorrow. Close enough for jazz. Has anyone ever heard that before? I hope so. Anyway, Todd, thank you for your submission. Let's move on to another one. Another one. Just want to make sure. You guys can still hear me just fine, yeah? Yes, I know the tops and bottoms are cropped when I go full screen. There's nothing I can do about that because the size of the photo is always going to be kind of dependent on how it looks in the widescreen. So nothing I can do. Sounds good. All right, sweet. Still rocking and rolling. 34 minutes later, no problems with the new NVIDIA broadcast. That's good news. There was one in here that I definitely wanted to hit tonight. Just give me a second to find it. I may have already done it because it was probably the first one I did. I feel like some of these I've already done too. Maybe not. Juggernaut RC, did I do this one? I don't think I did. Oh man, and if there's one that I should have been able to crop, it's probably this one. Darn it. All right, this one's from Juggernaut RC. Thank you very much for your submission. Again, if you guys want to submit your own photos, submissions at scalebuildersguild.com. I go through all the photos, pick out the ones, and bring them into Lightroom, and then correct them and send them back to you with the watermark on it. All right, so it looks like a couple of cross RCs that have been nicely modified. Oh, look at that cool United States of America flag on the windshield. Seems very unsafe. Looks like this one's been comped or going to a comp. I like that paint. Is that Lexan painted on the inside but with like a pattern, or is it hydro dipped? I bet you that's hydro dipped. All right, so can't crop it. Just gonna have to go with it. Do a couple of things here. Let's duplicate. Wait, let's make the corrections first. A little exposure lift, a little more contrast. Pull up those highlights a little bit. Bring down our shadows again. Texture and clarity. Weird. I never use those. And then increase our saturation back to normal. I love those tube doors in the inner tube cage. That's really nice. I'm going to sneeze. No, I'm not. Lost it. Pull that over here. So we have the same effects. I love the duplicate tool. That's always really handy. Maybe pull our shadows up on that one a little bit more, in fact. And I think that's good. Crop in just to, oh, I know. Ah, I want to, but I'm not gonna. Not gonna do it. I'm just increasing our exposure and lowering our saturation in the sky here just to do something a little bit different. Definitely going to add some contrast and pull our highlights down. There we go. It's looking nice. I'm going to do another one, but from the bottom. Because if I'm not allowed to crop, I'm going to do whatever I can to these backgrounds. Warm that up a little bit and lower our exposure and increase our saturation back to normal. I know I'm not doing any crops though this week, Mary, so no crops allowed. This one should be photo of the week. All right, we've already got an early vote. I would say the first one that I've done so far would probably be my choice, but this one is not being considered. I definitely like it overall. And just a little bit of texture there. Because it looks like our focal point isn't truly on this truck at all. It's a little soft on that one. Custom front bumper too. That looks pretty cool. I think it's probably more over on this truck, but for all things considered, that looks pretty good. No, I'm not doing it, Video. I promised to everyone I was not cropping this week. This is the non-cropping Lightroom live. All right. I want to take a look at this one full screen for a moment. Man, that is a nice looking photo. Boy, when you look at it full screen, that's pretty much the crop I would do. So you can imagine what it would look like. Before, oh, hang on. Before, after. Before, after. I'm pretty happy with that one. I think we're going to call that one done too. Okay. Let's move on to another one. I've already done this one. I know I have. So we're going to delete that one. And I've already done that one. Oops, maybe I forgot to send those back to people. Undo, undo. I'll make sure I got those out. Here's one that I wanted to do. Look at this TRX4 Sport. What a great location. Again, I'm just constantly chuffed by where people are able to go and drive their tiny trucks. This is a really nice location. And I love where the focal point is too. Normally, I would probably say let's crop this photo, but I don't want to, even if I was going to. I think it's perfect just the way it is. Nice few additions here. Stinger bumper, driver figures in a TRX4 is always good to see. Did you do a cut on those tires? Looks like you might have. Otherwise, good looking truck, great looking background. This one's from Michael Reimer. So thank you, Michael, for your submission. I'm going to warm this up even further. And then I think what we'll do is, I don't know if this is, I might be crazy here. This might not even work. I kind of like what that does. I'm just kind of adding some highlights to these rocks where the light actually is coming from. And then I think we'll actually maybe even give the truck a bit of a hit too. There we go. call that done. Hey, the texture slider and clarity, neat. Yeah, you can definitely tell the focus is right here and all this other stuff is out of focus. It looks really neat. It's a really nice photo. A little more contrast, I think, just to amp it up a little bit. And then going to go in here. Keep our saturation. Amp up our shadows so you can get a bit more of that grill in there. Now, can I rotate and constrain? I feel like that's allowed. Yeah, I'm going to allow it. There, that's a little bit better for me. Yeah, that is a beautiful picture. Throw a heavy vignette on there too. But in terms of like color and density and luminance, hue, saturation, I'm not really going to change very much. I might see if I can suck the red out a little bit. Just a touch. Yeah, I think that's going to do it. I'm feeling pretty good about that one. It's a nice looking photo and it's a great location and a unique framing. Good job, Michael. Very nice. Before, after, before, after. Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good about that one. That's a nice one. Thank you very much for your submission, Michael. That was an easy one. Old Son RC with the $20 donation. Thank you very much, man. That's amazing. And that's no comment, no question, no nothing. I appreciate that very much. Thank you. You're a heck of a guy for an old guy. Thanks for checking in, and I appreciate that very much. Thank you. All right. Let's do this one next for a bit of a juxtaposition. This one's from Andres Zermello, who has submitted in the past. This, I don't know what it is about this, and I know this has got to be a WPL. It can't be an RC four-wheel drive truck because it feels smaller than normal. These are BF Goodrich Mud Terrain TAs, KM3s, or KR2s. No, those are KM3s. No, this is a Hilux, or this is a Forerunner. Crazy. What an interesting perspective. That kind of blows my mind a little bit. I thought for sure this was a WPL, but it's not. It's the RC four-wheel drive Forerunner. Dang. No, that's ninth scale. That is crazy. Leaf springs up front. And these are SSD hubs. I don't know if those are SSD wheels though. Yeah, this is ninth scale. That's pretty amazing. I love it. It has to be. I don't know what it is. The foreground elements, they're kind of weirding me out. Maybe it's just a nice big fat wide aperture lens that's making the bokeh look so good too. I don't. Hey, that's a good one though. I'm pretty blown away. Fooled me for sure. Tilt shift, yeah, I guess so. I mean it's definitely in camera, and this is a raw photo. Like there's tons of depth in there. But man, kudos on that photo. That's pretty amazing. I really like that. I like the paint too. Purple and green stripe. I don't think I've ever seen that before. Killer job. I just changed the white balance slightly. It was a bit cooler before, but not very much. Just subtle, subtle, subtle. Let's lift our shadows a little bit so we get a little more texture on those tires. I'm not even gonna do very much to this one. It's just about like little subtle corrections here and there. But man, oh man, what a great photo. I love that one. Normally I'd crop it, but I'm not gonna. I'm not allowed. What would you do? What would you do to this? Doesn't really need much. Maybe just pull down the luminance of the greens. And then maybe just a touch more saturation, but not much. Oh, old son RC. My wife says hello, which sounds so weird. But I don't know. Some of you may know or may not know, but my wife works in social media marketing, um, and yeah, she has her own channel, Rebecca Nixon Social, I think it is, and she wanted to give you a shout out, old son. So hello from my wife. Um, and if there's anybody else here on her list, RC Amigo, Fleur de Lis, Moose Jaw, Old Son, and RC Bloke seem to be some of her biggest supporters on the RC stuff. So uh, there you go. Oh, thank you. Hey, Rebecca, Old Son says your Instagram account is spot on. Okay, back to this photo. Medium vignette. Um, man, I don't really, there's not much I want to do. It's good. It's really, really good. Maybe I'll pull the highlights down a little bit so we can see a bit more of the truck, but otherwise, this one's a banger. A total banger. Yes, Moose Jaw says absolutely great ideas from Rebecca Nixon. And energy. So many nice words about you. What about words about me? Well, I did get a $20 donation, so thank you, old son. I'll take that for sure. And you can take her compliments for sure. I think this one's done, guys. I honestly I wouldn't change anything else on this one. Let's go full screen because this one just blows me away. I'm thrilled with this photo. Yeah, let's go before, after, before, after. I think I've helped it a little bit. Man, oh man, that's a good one though. Andres Hermelo, great job, dude. That might be my pick so far for photo of the week. I know it. This one does not need a crop. Let's do Brienne DeWitt's Jeep here. She's got a JK. Another great rock formation. This Jeep looks right at home here too. Very, very cool. What is this on? SCX10 2 looks like. I can tell by the rear axle thingamadude. Anyway, very cool, very nice. I will also not crop this photo. It seems like we're getting a lot of these like nice rule of thirds. Truck isn't necessarily the focus of the thing here. It's great. Words about Matt: tosser, curb molester, TRX6 killer. Hey, all my TRX6 replacement parts came in. So maybe tomorrow night, in between me building things in Fusion 360, maybe I'll start rebuilding the TRX6. I mean, I have no shortage of projects for sure. The FJ62, that has to go out. You can see it a little bit better there. There it is. This guy has to go in a box tomorrow and get shipped out to Utah. So that's project number one. My semi truck came, so I've got that to work on, which is pretty exciting. What else? Everything that wasn't finished on what's on the bench. Oh, Brianna is in here. Hello, welcome. Thank you for checking in. Um, yeah, I've got no shortage of projects, so there'll be stuff for me to do tomorrow, without a doubt. Say it with me: texture and clarity. Let's go straight to these rocks because that's what I want to mess with first. We're going to give that an amp up in the blues. We may even play with the hue a little bit. Just make them really pop. There's probably a bit of orange in there too somewhere. Yeah, a little bit. Maybe some purple. Magenta. Nope, not enough. Let's bring those highlights down because those are definitely affecting the hood of that Jeep. I mean, obviously there's a giant light bar on it, so it should be. Um, more clarity. I think we're going to try just on the Jeep body here. I think we're going to try a little bit of stuff. Sorry, I'm concentrating, people. There we go. Just kind of bringing it into this more teal, gold teal kind of look. I think that works pretty well. Man, I'd love to crop this photo. Ooh, just like, just like this. But I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. I threw a heavy vignette on there. Wouldn't mind actually bringing this sky down a little bit if we can. There's probably not a ton. There's actually probably no information in there whatsoever. But at least we can correct it a little bit. That would be a nice feature in advertising. What I do for every day, most of our car ads, when you're watching them, and you look at the sky, none of those skies are real. 9 times out of 10, they've always been replaced just to give more drama. Yep, it's true. Hope I'm blowing your minds. Here we go. Just going to Brianna, tell us where this was. Where'd you get this? Where is this location? Or you don't give us specifics, but what state is it in? Pray tell. Or if it was at an event, let us know. Yes, that's absolutely correct, Master. That's why they shoot when it's cloudy, um, or overcast anyway. Right by the Mississippi River. That's neat. Very cool. I like how the light is kind of off this, kind of emitting a little bit of light over the whole scene. In fact, we can help that by kind of faking it a bit. And all I'm doing is brushing in some extra exposure. And we can even warm that up a little bit so it feels a bit more like it's doing that work. Cool, right? Man, I'd love to crop it. You know what? After the stream ends, maybe I will. Because that's what I do. All night long, I'm just correcting photos. Okay, what time is it? 9:30 almost. So how many did we get through tonight? I think we did a few. I'm gonna do one of my own. I think. Oh, actually, sorry. Before we do that, what's wrong with me? Full screen on that photo. Before, after. I think we've brought a lot more drama. I think it's definitely a different looking photo now. A lot more energy and visual interest. So, Brianna, thank you very much for sending that in. Yeah, if anyone else wants to submit photos, submissions at scalebuildersguild.com. It's super easy. And this, believe it or not, this is the 12th week that we've done this show, which has to be some sort of record. I know that we're on week 28 of Livestream Takeover, but this is a lot of fun and I'm really enjoying doing it. And it's so great that there's enough content to keep this going every single week. It's amazing. So thank you guys. It's really because of you that this is happening. Twas a nice area till the Jeep owners moved in and ruined the joint. Oh, Missouri, eh? It'll be a cold day before I recognize Missouri. And anybody who knows that reference knows that I'm joking, of course. But if anyone knows what it is, post in the comments. All right. Should I do one more and then one of mine, or should we just cap it and do one of mine? I feel like I kind of want to just do one of mine. I feel like okay, let's go through Grandpa Simpson. That's right, Craig. Thank you. Oh, Brianna had it first, though. All right. Brianna, you win. You win a corrected photo by yours truly. Maybe I'll Photoshop Homer into the driver's seat or something. All right. Yeah. Let's quickly go to the all the photos, and I'm going to do one of my Land Cruiser. Well, not mine. No, I won't do a crap on mine either. Don't worry. Jeremy, is your Yeti the one on the sitting on the rock? If it is, I will definitely get to that. Okay, let's go to develop on this one and reset it because that's what it looked like straight out of the camera. This was a golden hour. Golden hour is, of course, like right before the sun sets. It was like 20 minutes and then the sun was down. Some of the best light because it's so warm and beautiful. Yeah, I'm gonna miss this truck. I got to be honest with you guys. It's like it's not very often you finish a truck and then don't get to drive it, and then you have to put it in a box and send it to somebody else. But we'll quickly talk about this one. Richard, pardon my noob, aka Turks and Jerps on Instagram. He constructed the body. It's an MFAB 3D printed body kit of a Toyota Land Cruiser FJ62. 62 because this has the square headlights. 60s had the circular single beam headlight. And then he sent that body to me. I painted it in dark metallic gray, which is a true Toyota color for this year of Land Cruiser, and did all the striping and detail work and bumper, which I had to refinish because this was a used bumper. Plopped it all on a long wheelbase Trailfinder 2 from RC Four Wheel Drive, which I had to extend another inch because this is a 13.3-inch wheelbase. And then, yeah, then it's going to cruisergear.co, and they're giving away a full-size 1-to-1 Land Cruiser that looks exactly like this one. So I was like, let's do a small version and give that one away to the winner of the full-size one too, because crossover promotions, all kinds of fun stuff like that. And yeah, I thought this would be kind of a nice little tribute to the truck. So here it is. Let's play around a little bit. You can go super warm and wreck everyone's retinas, or you can cool it off a bit and go a little more natural. I'm gonna kind of toe the line in between the two, and I might even tint it up into the magentas a little bit. We're gonna lower our exposure. No, we'll keep it right where it is actually. And contrast, I'm going to increase that a little bit. Shadows, I'm also going to lift those a little bit. Highlights are spot on. Don't feel like our whites or our blacks are out of control. Hey, there's the texture wheel and clarity too, but not a ton in the clarity department. Also going to keep our vibrance right where it is, but lower our saturation just a touch. I'm going to add a bit of blue saturation overall. One thing I definitely wanted to do, those are Proline KO2s. I put a white, I have some white paint pens that I use to do the lettering. Just lowering the exposure on that front wheel so it pops and sings a little bit more. You're good at shooting photos, but this one's not impressive. Neat. Thanks for the constructive criticism. All right. Not. I guess everyone's a critic. I'm pretty happy with this photo. That's just me. Yes, I made this one. This was a truck that I did for a giveaway, which I just mentioned. So you can go over, if you are interested in winning this truck and its full-size 1-to-1 daily driver restored 1988 FJ62, go over to cruisergear.co and you'll be able to enter by buying some of the merchandise that gentleman sells on that website. It's a very cool website. RC Four Wheel Drive donated the chassis for this build. Turks and Jerps donated his time to prep and construct the body, which is from a 3D printed MFAB Studios kit. And then I did all the rest. And I think we're almost done with this one, if I'm honest. Maybe throw a light vignette on that one. Wonder what grain would look like. Grain's kind of fun. I'm putting the grain on there. And there we go. Full screen for fun. Before, after. That's a nice truck. I'll be sad to see it go, but I'll be happy to have it land into the hands of its new owner. And on that, oh, thanks JDM Very nice. We're doing Yoda stuff. It may get weird. I might put that on a shirt. That's pretty good. That's pretty funny. I like that a lot. Cohen, how could I get one of those RC pics? You'll have to ask the person that took the photo. Exactly, Mass Master. Thank you. Mark, you need to add 5mm track width to your latest build. What are your options? You can get wider hexes. You could add. It depends on the wheel, right? I mean, you could also just get more track width if you're using like a Vanquish wheel. Use SLW hubs that are wider. That's another way to do it. Yeah, that's what I did. I mean, I added different size hubs for the 6x6 build, so it had a wider track width. That's about the only way to do it as far as I know, short of changing out your axles. Yeah, that's it. Let's go through all the photos we did today. Huh? How does that sound? Great idea. All right, starting right here with Todd Ostman's V-dub, which looks pretty cool. And then we'll move to Juggernaut RC with their two cross RC trucks. Very nice. You guys tell me which photo you think is photo of the week, too. Be sure to put that in the chat, please. Which other ones did we do? Oh, yeah. Joshua Gregg's Comp Yo. Comp! We're comping, yo! Very nice truck. I love that Vista. I love a good Vista. So picturesque. Michael Reimer with his TRX4 Sport. Looks pretty good. The first photo I did, Jorn Johannesson's Land Cruiser 80 series, which looks so rad. Number 29. We'll get to it, Mark. Not to worry. Not to worry. It's in the queue. Brianna's Jeep on the Mississippi. And no crop. It's a no crop week. I feel pretty good about that. Which other ones did we do? Oh, yeah. Craig's Blazer. I think that, oh, wait. Oh, I almost forgot. Andres Ormelo's Forerunner shot. I think that might be my favorite. I'm gonna say that's my pick of the week because it totally like weirded me out. I was like, why is this truck so small? Yes, the River Jeep from Brianna was definitely definitely a pretty interesting one. I like that one a lot too. All right, well there you go, guys. That's gonna do it for this episode. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching. Hit the like button before you pop out. And if you want to submit photos, submissions at scalebuildersguild.com. I will see everybody tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Eastern for a live stream takeover. Very much looking forward to that. Josh and I have a lot of stuff to talk about and a lot of trash talking to do whilst we watch each other try to do either Lightroom Live or Fusion 360. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. We will catch you on the next one. Take care.